A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a landmark ruling that is sure to resonate through the political landscape, a Georgia judge has declared that county election officials are required to certify election results by the legally mandated deadline, with no exceptions, even if there are suspicions of error or fraud. This decision comes at a critical time as early voting has commenced in the state, and it directly addresses the ongoing concerns surrounding election integrity that have been amplified by claims from certain political factions. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Robert McBurney made the ruling late Monday, emphasizing that no election superintendent or member of a board of elections and registration may refuse to certify or abstain from certifying election results under any circumstance. This statement underscores the judge's firm stance on the responsibilities of election officials in Georgia. The ruling was prompted by a lawsuit filed by Julie Adams, a member of the Fulton County Board of Elections, who argued that her duties regarding election certification were discretionary rather than mandatory. However, Judge McBurney rejected this notion, stating, "Election superintendents in Georgia have a mandatory fixed obligation to certify election results." He elaborated that allowing officials to selectively certify votes based on personal suspicions could lead to the disenfranchisement of voters, a situation he deemed unacceptable. The ruling has been hailed as a significant victory for voting rights advocates and Democratic officials, who view it as a reinforcement of democratic principles in a battleground state that has been the focus of intense scrutiny and claims of election fraud, particularly following the 2020 presidential election. Voting rights reporter Ari Berman remarked that this decision represents a big victory for democratic norms and a setback for those aligned with former President Donald Trump who have sought to undermine the electoral process. This case highlights the broader issue of election integrity, which has seen a surge in partisan claims and investigations across the country, particularly in swing states like Georgia. Adams, who has ties to the America First Policy Institute, a group associated with Trump, previously refused to certify two primary elections earlier this year and has been linked to efforts aimed at challenging the legitimacy of election outcomes. Despite the claims of widespread fraud, experts have consistently found that such occurrences are extremely rare. In Georgia, multiple recounts and legal challenges have failed to uncover any evidence that would suggest that the 2020 election results were compromised. The judge's ruling serves as a reminder that the electoral process must remain intact and that all votes should be counted and certified according to the law. As early voting continues in Georgia, the implications of this ruling will be closely monitored, particularly as the state gears up for the upcoming elections. The ruling is not just a legal decision but a reaffirmation of the principle that every vote counts, and that the integrity of the electoral process must be upheld against unfounded claims and partisan interference. In the wake of this ruling, election officials are now tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that the certification process is conducted transparently and fairly, allowing voters to have confidence in the outcomes of their elections. The political landscape in Georgia remains charged, and this ruling could play a pivotal role in shaping the dynamics of the upcoming elections as both parties strategize to secure their positions in a state that has become a focal point for national political battles. With the backdrop of ongoing investigations and claims of election fraud, this ruling stands as a bulwark against attempts to manipulate the electoral process and a reaffirmation of the rights of voters in Georgia. As the state moves forward, the focus will likely shift to how election officials implement this ruling and how it impacts the broader narrative surrounding election integrity in the United States. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.